Good afternoon, everyone. This is Steven with SG Saber Design, and today I have on the bench for Jason. This is the Oggdo Killer Gen 2 from Dennis Lukanov from Saber Bay as well. This was sent for install with the Profi, full chassis, everything included. So kind of a straightforward install, but not exactly a straightforward one. This one's a little different than, well, pretty much every other Saber. Not every other, but most. It is a one-button setup. You got your single button up here. You can see in there you got a crystal chamber. And you'll notice down here at the bottom, no vents. Your speaker is actually sitting right about here, firing up. And so it comes out through these vents here. Now, I would assume that that's so you can take this pommel off and turn it into a staff, do whatever you want down there. But that does make it a little bit different of an install. I did put on greeblies here, and put the main greebly on here and here. Those are on with double stick tape. They will stay on pretty well, but if you need to pull them off, they will come off. There are some printed greeblies that fit into these openings here on both sides. I sanded them till they fit, and I put some double stick tape on the back of them and put them back in the bag. If you want to just stick them on, that's fine. If you want to paint them, they'll be a lot easier to paint while they're in the bag, not on the Saber. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here. Comes apart right here in the middle. Just a couple of twists and that comes off. Your main chassis is right here. Got your kill switch, Profi 3.9, 18650 battery, and as you can see, no speaker. You have good, easy access to both your card and your SD slot. Your single buttons right here, and I believe it's a stock. Probably a V4 up there and there. I don't remember off the top of my head. We'll see it in a moment. It does come with a nice blade plug. So typically I would say this is a fixed chassis where you just leave it like this. If you do want, it will come out. To take it out though, let me show you how to do that. You just untwist the screw greebly here. And I did put so the way this is constructed, you can see there's a spring in there. This outer thing here screws on as well, but it's reverse threaded, which is kind of a pain because every time you try and tighten this in, it would come loose. So I put a little bit of Loctite purple on this part here, so that should stay together, but if you need to get it off, just heat it up just a little bit, and honestly, if you probably just crank on it, you'll probably pull it off. So set that aside. Now this here comes up, and there are a bunch of screw holes here. The one directly behind your switch is what you want to go in with I believe it is a 1.5. Yep. And if you pull that grub screw out a little ways, let me make sure I've got it out far enough. Okay, then the entire chassis will slide out. And you can see there's your crystal, your one button, and that's pretty much all you can see otherwise. Like I said, the speaker is right in here, firing up. So, like I said, I would suggest just leaving this in the upper section. There's not a whole lot of point to taking it out. So when you put it in, just make sure it goes in far enough that you can see that switch directly in there. And then tighten this one right here directly back. And once that's snugged up against there, it won't slide out. So let me just drop that down, and we can screw this switch back in. If I can get it lined up right, there we go. Okay, so to use this, flip this switch, and it's kind of tight in there, I got big hands. So what I do is typically just use a screwdriver.
I'll take the Inquisitor. Watch my back.
Okay. We can put this back on. Now, the way this grip is built, it's actually several pieces. This silver piece is a separate. Then there's a inner sleeve, the outer sleeve, and then there's this pommel piece that goes up a ways. That way you can reclock this however you want, whether you want this to be lined up like that or like that, whatever one. So you can see I've got a crystal in there, and I've got it set up to do a heartbeat while the saber is off, and it will kind of mimic the blade when it's on. So let's go ahead and fire it up. Hit the button. You can see that blade plug lights up. You hear it. Does sound pretty good. You just want to be careful where you're holding it, because if you kind of hold it like that with it, like I would hold something like this, you're going to be blocking a lot of your venting. As long as you're holding it like this, your vents will be fine. So let's go ahead and put a blade in real quick and take a look. This is also 1.5. You've got all of your Allen wrenches come in the toolkit that came with this. This is a 1-inch blade. Your kit also came with a 18650 battery, so that will be ready to go when you get this. Okay, tighten that up and fire it up. So, what Jason wanted was he's got the K-Sith, the whole pack for Kestis. So we've got all the different colors here. So
green, cyan, indigo, magenta, purple, orange, yellow, red, white, party saber, blue.
And we're back to the beginning. Now, I will say one thing that might take a little getting used to, at least for me, if you don't have a lot of sabers installed by me, obviously you're not going to be, may not be as big a deal. I typically install a saber with the Profi board up close in this area, so that, as you're doing stuff, it's right there where your hand is. In this one, your Profi board's down here, so it like clashes. I find clashes tend to work better with using the hilt. So like if you're gonna try and change the volume, you hold the button and clash.
Enter volume menu.
I find it hitting it down here versus up here tends to work better. So
Minimum volume.
twist it.
Maximum volume.
It's really loud at maximum, so I've got it down about 70%.
Volume menu end.
You can adjust that anytime you want, though. If you have any questions about it, please let me know. Otherwise, we can get this in the mail. I know you haven't seen this yet. This came directly from the store to me, so I'm sure you're raring to see it. Like I said, any changes you want yet, if there's something you want done differently as far as the programming, we can take care of that real quick. Otherwise, it's good to go. And everyone, have a great day, and may the force be with you.